Hello and welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Have you ever wished you could walk the streets of ancient Rome at the height of its power, or stand in awe before a majestic temple that now lies in ruins? For most of human history, this was purely the realm of imagination, pieced together from dusty texts and broken pottery. But today, a revolution at the crossroads of technology and archaeology is turning that dream into a virtual reality. We're not just preserving history, we're resurrecting it. We're building digital bridges to lost worlds, allowing us to experience entire civilizations that have long since vanished from the physical world. In the next 20 minutes, we'll journey into the incredible field of digital heritage preservation, where scientists and artists are meticulously rebuilding our collective past, one pixel and one data point at a time. Our global heritage is fragile. It's under constant threat, not just from the slow, relentless erosion caused by wind and rain, but also from sudden, devastating human actions. Urban development paves over irreplaceable archaeological sites, while acts of war and terrorism deliberately target cultural landmarks to erase a people's history. We have all seen the heartbreaking images: the destruction of the ancient caravan city of Palmyra in Syria, a crossroads of civilizations, or the demolition of the colossal Buddhas of Bamiyan in Afghanistan. These are irreversible losses. Once a physical structure is gone, it's gone forever. In response to this crisis, the global community has increasingly turned to digital technology as a vital tool. This isn't just about creating a backup. It is a proactive measure to document sites in their current state, and a reactive measure to virtually rebuild what has been lost. These digital surrogates become invaluable resources for researchers, powerful educational tools for the public, and a way to preserve the cultural identity of communities whose physical heritage has been stolen by violence or time. So, how exactly do you rebuild an entire ancient world on a computer? It requires a sophisticated digital archaeologist's toolkit, a meticulous process that blends scientific rigor with artistic interpretation. The two primary technologies at the heart of this resurrection are 3D laser scanning and photogrammetry. Let's start with 3D laser scanning. This is the gold standard for capturing reality with astonishing precision. A scanner, often mounted on a tripod, emits a laser beam that sweeps across the surface of a structure. It measures millions of individual data points to capture its precise geometry. These scanners might use a time-of-flight principle, measuring the time it takes for a laser pulse to bounce back, or a phase shift method, analyzing the returning laser's phase. The result of either method is a point cloud, a dense and incredibly accurate 3D map of the site, composed of millions of tiny dots in space. The process is painstaking. It starts with careful planning to map out the best scanning locations to ensure every surface is captured. Multiple scans are then conducted from various angles. This raw data is then processed to clean up any noise and to stitch the individual point clouds together in a process known as registration. This creates a single, complete, and cohesive 3D model, a digital treasure trove that serves as the perfect framework for both conservation analysis and virtual reconstruction. A more accessible, yet still incredibly powerful alternative is photogrammetry. This technique doesn't use lasers, but hundreds or even thousands of high-resolution, overlapping photographs. By taking pictures of an object or a site from every conceivable perspective, specialized software can get to work. It first analyzes the images, automatically identifying common points and features across the photos. Then, it triangulates these points in 3D space to generate a detailed mesh, which is like a digital wireframe skeleton. The real magic happens when the original photographs are projected onto this mesh, creating a photorealistic, textured 3D model. The rise of drones has supercharged photogrammetry, allowing teams to quickly and safely survey large or inaccessible areas, like the intricate roof of a Gothic cathedral, or an entire ancient landscape from the air, providing a comprehensive view that is crucial for rebuilding entire cities. Once these stunningly accurate 3D models are built, how do we step inside them? That's where virtual and augmented reality become our portals to the past. Virtual reality, or VR, offers total immersion. You put on a headset, and the real world disappears. You are instantly transported to a completely simulated environment. You can walk through the bustling Roman Forum, explore the hidden inner chambers of an Egyptian tomb, or witness a historical event as if you were standing right there. It's the ultimate way to visit places that no longer exist, are too fragile for tourists, or are simply too remote to travel to. Augmented reality, AR, works a bit differently. It doesn't replace your world, it overlays digital information onto it. Imagine you're visiting the ruins of a castle. Holding up a smartphone, or looking through AR glasses, you could see the missing walls, towers, and ramparts digitally reconstructed right on top of the existing foundations. It creates a powerful then and now comparison that deeply enriches a visitor's understanding. These technologies are transforming museums from places of passive observation into interactive and engaging learning environments. This technological revolution is a global phenomenon. Let's take a virtual tour of some of the most impressive projects bringing history to life across continents. Our first stop is Europe. The Rome Reborn project is one of the most ambitious and long-standing digital reconstructions ever attempted. The result of over 2 decades of international collaboration, it offers a stunningly detailed 3D model of ancient Rome as it appeared in AD 320. Using a combination of archaeological data, historical texts, and advanced computer graphics, the team has recreated the Colosseum, the Pantheon, the Roman Forum, and hundreds of other landmarks. The latest version even allows users to take a virtual flight over the ancient metropolis. In France, the Great Abbey of Cluny, once the monastic capital of medieval Europe, is now mostly ruins. But technology now gives visitors a second life experience of this magnificent structure. Through augmented reality, you can see the grand church, the Mater Ecclesia, as it once stood, bridging the gap between the sparse remains and the abbey's immense historical importance. And of course, there's Pompeii. The Roman city, tragically preserved under volcanic ash, has been the subject of numerous VR reconstructions. These projects aim to recreate not just the buildings, but also the daily life of the city. The ethical challenge here is significant. With a focus on representing the lives and tragic deaths of Pompeii's inhabitants with historical accuracy and respect, avoiding sensationalism. Now, let's travel to Asia. The Re-Relic program in China has developed a specialized methodology for East Asian archaeological heritage. Many ancient structures in this region were timber-framed and have long since been lost to time, leaving only their foundations. By creating scientifically rigorous virtual models, the program respects the principle of minimal intervention on the actual sites, while providing a detailed interpretation for the public. Further south, in Cambodia, the vast temple complexes of Angkor have been brought to a global audience through projects like Virtual Angkor. This collaboration has created immersive 360-degree and VR experiences of sites like Angkor Wat and Ta Prohm, allowing people worldwide to explore these magnificent Khmer kingdoms. And back in Syria, the tragic destruction of Palmyra spurred a global effort to digitally document its lost treasures. The organization ICONEM, for example, used drone photogrammetry to create high-fidelity 3D models of the destroyed Temple of Bel and the iconic Triumphal Arch. These digital reconstructions have been featured in international exhibitions, raising awareness and ensuring the memory of Palmyra endures. Next, we journey to Africa, a continent with a vast and often under-documented heritage. The Zamani Project, based at the University of Cape Town, is on a mission to create a permanent digital record of African heritage sites. Their team travels to remote and sometimes unstable regions with high-tech laser scanners and drones. They have digitally archived dozens of locations, including the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela in Ethiopia, the great mosques of Timbuktu in Mali, and the ruins of Kilwa Kisiwani in Tanzania. These models are a permanent record for future generations and can be explored in virtual reality. Another key player is African Digital Heritage, a non-profit based in Kenya. They work on projects that not only preserve structures, but also address complex historical narratives. They have mapped detention camps from the Mau Mau revolt in Kenya and run the Open Restitution Africa project, which seeks to open up access to information about African artifacts held in foreign museums, tackling issues of cultural ownership head-on. Finally, to the Americas, where new technology is uncovering lost history. In South America, a project called GeoPaca is using artificial intelligence to discover previously unknown archaeological sites. The AI is trained to analyze satellite imagery and identify the faint outlines of ancient settlements hidden in the Andes. This data-intensive approach is helping archaeologists create much richer narratives of past societies. Meanwhile, in Argentina, a collaborative digital database called BADACOR serves as a vital tool for heritage management. It has been used in legal claims to protect heritage sites from destruction by development projects, empowering local and indigenous communities in the fight to preserve their ancestral territories. This shows how digital heritage is evolving from a research tool into a powerful instrument for activism and protection. Of course, this path to resurrecting the past is a thorny one, fraught with complex challenges and ethical dilemmas. Perhaps the most debated issue is authenticity. When a lost structure is reconstructed based on fragmented evidence and scholarly interpretation, how do we convey the speculative nature of the model? There's a delicate balance between creating a scientifically rigorous model and an engaging one. Inaccurate reconstructions can mislead the public, so it's crucial that these virtual worlds are transparent about their sources, clearly distinguishing between what is known and what is inferred. Authenticity isn't a static quality. It's a dynamic process, and the goal should be to use the digital model as a tool for critical thinking. Then there's the specter of digital colonialism. Many high-tech preservation projects are led by well-funded Western institutions. This raises serious concerns about who owns and controls the digital data of another country's heritage, potentially perpetuating historical power imbalances. Ethical practice demands that these projects involve local communities from the very beginning. The people whose history is being digitized must be collaborative partners, helping to decide what is reconstructed and how it's represented, and they must have ownership and access to the final digital assets. Finally, there are the technical and financial hurdles. The technology is expensive, and the process is labor-intensive, creating a digital divide. And there's the challenge of long-term sustainability. Digital formats become obsolete, and storage media degrades. Ensuring these invaluable archives remain accessible for future generations requires robust data management strategies. We also have to consider the environmental impact, as the massive data centers storing this information consume significant amounts of energy. So what does the future hold? It's incredibly exciting. Artificial intelligence, as we've seen, is already playing a huge role. It can analyze vast datasets like satellite imagery to find sites far faster than humans ever could. It can also be used to help automate the restoration of damaged digital artifacts. However, this also raises new questions about authenticity when AI generates plausible but potentially inaccurate representations of the past. Then, there is the metaverse, the concept of a persistent, shared virtual space. Imagine a global, interconnected museum where users can explore virtual reconstructions of heritage sites from around the world, interact with digital artifacts, and even participate in collaborative educational experiences with people on the other side of the planet. It could make cultural heritage more accessible and engaging than ever before. The future lies in creating dynamic, living archives. These won't be static representations of the past, but evolving ecosystems of knowledge that can be continuously updated with new research and data. They will be platforms where researchers and the public can contribute, ensuring our understanding of the past remains a vibrant and ongoing conversation. Digital heritage preservation and the virtual reconstruction of lost worlds represent a profound shift in our relationship with the past. It is a field born of necessity, driven by the desire to protect our shared history from the forces of decay and destruction. Through the innovative application of technologies like 3D laser scanning, photogrammetry, VR, and AR, we are now able to not only document what remains, but also to resurrect what has been lost, offering immersive journeys into bygone eras. This endeavor is not without its challenges. The ethical tightrope of authenticity, the risk of digital colonialism, and the practical hurdles of cost and data sustainability demand a thoughtful and collaborative approach. Yet, the potential rewards are immense. By creating digital surrogates of our most precious heritage sites, we are ensuring their survival for future generations and democratizing access to history. As we stand at the cusp of a new technological era, the future of our past has never been more vibrant. The silent stones of lost cities are finding a new voice in the digital realm, and their stories are waiting to be heard. Thank you for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online.